Sagittarius, I'm Anisha. You can write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. You can also visit my website www.tarotbyanisha.com. And this is your monthly forecast for February 2013. This is a month of love. We have Venus that is going to be transiting your third house. That has to do with communication. It is a house of Mercury. It has to do with your siblings. It has to do conversations at the marketplace, in your community. It has to do with your extended family. It has also to do with the information that you receive and how it is that you process it. And with Venus being there, I think there seems to be a general feel-good thing as far as your conversations go. You will find that communication is very smooth during, especially with your work colleagues at your workplace. And also you will find among your community, things are more smoother, you're more involved, people are sort of seeking you out, and you will, generally be feeling quite upbeat on a day-to-day thing, which is a great thing. Also, Venus is going to be making you look at your interactions very closely. And again, Venus being the goddess of love, beauty, and sex, and yes, she also rules money, you will be looking at relationships, especially to do with your siblings. Whether if there have been difficulties in the past, maybe this is the time that you will find it easy to communicate, to articulate to them as to what is it that has been going on, or whether they need some help, or whatever friction has been there before with the extended family seems to be a good time where you will be able to sort of smooth things out. So use this time well, Sagittarians. Also, there seems to be a lot of you seem to be indulging in a lot of gossip as well, especially if it's scandalous gossip. And I think a lot of focus again on information coming through the media, whether it is television, it's magazines, and internet, of course. For those of you who are in this space, however, you will be loving your jobs at this point of time. That's the broadcast media, and also for those of you who are in the publishing houses and with the radio, this is a time where you will find there's a lot of new information that is coming to you. However, there could also be some amount of a challenge in trying to process this information. There could be literally, you could be bombarded with information, and you would also be in the space where you will be seeking hungrily the information also. A lot of surfing on the net, and a lot of, whether it is looking for another university, another country to travel. I think a lot of you will also be quite keen to travel at this point of time. Can be another city, even if it's not a country, but the focus is there on wanting to sort of do things that make you happy, do things that, whether it is socializing, being chatty, conversations, doing group activities. So you will be doing all these things, and you'll be liking that a lot. Also, the ability of this house, of the third house, is how it is that we receive the information and our ability to share it with others. So the way that we are able to process it. We have a very busy fourth house as well for you. That is a house of home. It is a place where you stay, with whom it is that you stay, or with whom it is that you share the space. And this house also deals with your mother. It's a house of Cancer, and also often it speaks about emotions which are really deep seated, which you're not able to sort of talk about very comfortably. And it's a kind of a shell that we wear around ourselves while dealing with the rest of the world. This is also a time where you could be looking at childhood patterns as to how it is that the early childhood was perceived, how it is that nurturing was perceived. Was there enough shelter at home? Did you feel secure as a child, or were you brought up by very disciplining parents? I think somewhere still there is a fear of disapproval or letting your parents down is there at the back of your mind, and I think a lot of your decisions are sort of based around that. So you could be looking at that. You could be looking at thought patterns, getting to the root of it as to where it is that they are emerging from. And also we have like I said, Mercury is there, and so is Sun. We also have healing Chiron that is there, and Mercury, of course, with all its chattiness, is going to be helping you articulate. Mercury goes retrograde about a little after mid month, and that is the time that communication could be little. There could be some communication glitches over there. There could be some travel glitches as well. It's also not a great time to be making grand plans. It's also not a great time to be getting into new negotiations. You may not be having the complete information at this point of time. A retrograde normally indicates that all the facts may not be present to you while making a decision. So be a little careful, before you sort of announce your decision at this point of time. Try not to sort of rush into it and say, not that this is how it is and this is what I want to do, or yes, I will take up this job. And you may just realize after that, that the facts are not what they're supposed to be while you're making the decision. Also, while buying towards a heavy ticket item, it's you may just realize there's a upgraded model or version of it just 2 weeks down the line, and you could feel a bit let down. So again, nothing drastic, but a couple of things to be kept in mind during a retrograde, of course. So try and do most of your important work in the first half of the month. Try and do all the important meetings, actioning things out, traveling, plans, whatever that needs to be done. Ensure that you do it in the first half of the house. It doesn't get done on the second half of the house. There could just be delays over there. We have Saturn now that has been there in your 12th house since October 2012, and it carries on being there till October 2015. Now, Saturn retrograde normally again speaks about a time not to be actioning anything out. A retrograde speaks about a time to revise, retweak, and think through take stock of what it is that has happened in the past to now, to present, and how it is that you want to take it forward. And your 12th house is also about deep-seated problems in your psyche. It could have to do even with obsessions, with compulsions. In the traditional astrology, 12th house has to do with prison cells and mental asylums. But of course, in the modern context, this is a time where you need to be looking at thought patterns. I mean, is there something that you're really obsessive about? Is there something that, it's just your way of thinking, and that is what you think the truth to be? So a Saturn retrograde in your 12th house is urging you to look at things, looking at breaking patterns, transforming. It's also a house of transformation, and like I said, it's a house of karma. So sow what you will reap. Be very careful in this house, Sagittarians, because at times we do things thinking that it is quite all right, it doesn't matter, and I can sort of get away with it. But unfortunately, in this house, karma tends to come back quite quickly and bite you in the backside. So be a little careful over there. Also, this is a house of undoing, self-undoing, that is. So there could be certain decisions and things that you do which could sort of spite you yourself. So try not to, in order to be spiting a friend, you'll in the long run be spiting yourself. So be watchful over there as well. Like I said, it's a house of karmic consequences. Yes, that's the right word, karmic consequences. So try not to be quite spiteful, because the results could be quite disastrous for you. You may feel a temporary satisfaction out of it, but in the long run, you are the one who's going to be losing out of it. Now, we also have Mars that is going to be, it's squaring Jupiter, and Jupiter is your ruling planet. And this could be causing some amount of a restriction. You could feel little constrained in either moving ahead with a project, with a relationship, and again, I would say some amount of a delay over here. It's nothing major, it is nothing that is there to last, but you could feel little restricted at this point of time. So try not to get too upset about it, and try again. I think during a retrograde, try not to push people for answers. If it's a relationship, if it's a business partnership, wait it out and let the retrograde get over. During this time, utilize this time to plan, research, understand things, take stock of things, especially if it has to, in your case, it's your 12th house, and So you need to be looking at things at your deep psyche, your patterns, subconscious patterns, unconscious patterns, how it is that you behave when you get into relationships, how it is that you behave in your closest friendships. What is it that you do, or what are the reactions that you have? Where is it that they stem for? What is the root cause of it? So all this is, and how it is again that you can get better. So coming from the past, taking stock of it in the present, and then again reviewing it, retweaking it for a better future. So looks like a very interesting month, Sagittarians. Like I said, there's a lovely Venus transit, so of course, a lot of love in the air, and some amount of, I would say, renovation also is there, and beautifying your house and doing some amount of a retail therapy. So have a lovely February. I'll see you again in March, and thank you so much for watching.